But then I found a life of greatness and I developed that. And that feeling to me was something that I'd never felt before. That
Hmm.
it just blew me away, the love that I have for this podcast and the community I've built. Is it that simple for most people? Do most people get that, wow, this is where I feel almost like at home?
At home is a good sensation. I would say that you would either follow the feeling, which you've just described very eloquently, or you would follow the words. They can be spoken or written, that you're journaling about your purpose. Or you can follow the vision that you have if you see something that you like and you say, I'd like to do something like that.
Mm.
What it requires is an openness to learn from others, an openness to admire others, even an openness to be a bit envious of others. You know, envy and jealousy, if used in microscopic amounts, are actually very stimulating.
Yes, agree.
When you're jealous of somebody and you don't let it overwhelm you, it's a bit like salt in food. If you put just a little bit of salt, the flavor comes out. If
Yeah.
you put a lot of salt, it ruins it. It's just salty. And the same thing is true with all of these various emotions. And when you're striving to find your purpose in life, you're going to be experiencing your emotional body, your emotional self, in a profound way because you're right there in the intensity of your existence. And not only are you going to be experiencing the joys of finding things that work for you, but you're also going to be experiencing significant emotions on the darker side of the emotional spectrum, such as doubt and fear.
Mm.
I mean, when you step out into a world that feels like home to you, but it's brand new to everybody else, you're filled with a sensation of this is scary. I can remember I wanted my whole life to be a performing artist. And I started piano at the age of 5 and violin at the age of 7 and guitar at the age of 10 or 11. And when I landed a recording contract with a major record company and I started being put out on stages in front of thousands of people in the audience, I was petrified. My glorious dream that I had just, admired and admired for so long was coming true. And it was scaring the bejeebers out of me. And so consequently, you have to be able to navigate
Mm.
all sides of your emotional being when you are in pursuit of your true purpose.
Mm.
Because, and by the way, this is one of the reasons why so many people don't want to go for purpose. They just want to go for security or
Yeah.
safety, financial security or safety in their sensation, because it becomes too overwhelming. And so what I would like to say to those people that are listening, start slowly. The only way that you can get out of the need for security and safety and find true safety and true security is by going very, very slowly so that the subconscious does not make a radical correction when you get outside of your familiar zone.
Mm.
Because the subconscious tries to keep you in a familiar zone. So one of the things about safety and security is that you remain somewhat cloistered, somewhat small, in order to feel familiar. That feels safe. When you're growing and when you're expanding and when you're doing your dream, that's very unsafe.
Mm.
And so you want to move slowly. You want to take steps. You want to make steps. It's a little bit like the Dutch, claiming the lands for their tulip fields. They built the dikes out in the water, then they pumped the water out from behind the dikes, then they desalinated the soil, and they brought in more topsoil, and now they had a field. And then they would put another dike out beyond that, pump out the water. That's kind of like the growth from being small and needing security to being able to live your life on purpose, in a purpose-filled sensation that is extremely fulfilling, but sometimes feels a bit dangerous.